Whoa, whoa. What do you know? We are live once more, I think. I can see myself. Just have to make sure that we got audio. Since we got a nice delay going here as always. Wait. Nope, we got audio. It's all good. I just have to see if the camera angle is right, since that also has its nice delay, of course. Have you noticed how I talk very slowly, like I'm actually aware of what I'm saying when I'm trying to do something at the same time? That is all me. I have zero capability of doing two things at once. I think that means we have go time. Yeah, it sure does. Welcome to yet another evaluation of yet another weekly challenge. This has been the weekly challenge number 61, Rejection Therapy, week 7. Yeah, you heard it right. This is starting to be more of a routine than a special event, because boy, have we been doing some rejection therapy. So for you new guys, this video is gonna be a brief evaluation of what has happened this week from my perspective, my learnings and conclusions. To sum it up a little bit, we need to close this chapter down. Following this video, this stream, directly afterwards, a new live stream will begin where I do my regular weekly evaluation. This is an individual thing where I work silently on my own, going through the actions I've been doing, how I've been progressing towards my goals, and so forth. The idea is that I'd love if you join that session and just do your own weekly review, look through all your goals and actions, and just reground yourself so you are ready for another week. So that's the next stream, but first we're gonna have this evaluation, and let's throw ourselves into it. Yeah. So, rejection therapy. What is it? If you don't know by now, let me tell you. We design a question or request. For instance, approaching a girl and asking for her number. This is a scenario which most likely will get us rejected, give us a no thrown in our face. Why do we do this then? Well, mainly for two reasons. You see, getting used to rejection, getting used to having a person saying no to you when you are asking for something that you want, it is something we are not so comfortable with. It is something that scares us, that we fear, and it hinders us from actually going after the things we want, because, well, we are in a state where we constantly try to protect ourselves from putting ourselves in these uncomfortable situations. It's just the nature of our human being. When it's uncomfortable, we don't want to be there, of course, and the body, the mind reminds us of previous situations where we've been in these situations where that awful feeling came to us. So in order to not be there again, we become the person that wants to be in the safe place, in our comfort zone. But so what we're doing is actively pushing ourselves outside the comfort zone so we can get used to this, so we don't have to fear the fear of rejection. And why is this good then? Why is this actually good? I mean, isn't there a reason for not being outside our comfortable little zone? Of course, it is when the growth is happening. That was a strange sentence, I realized that, but you get what the picture is. When we get used to rejection, that means all the small things in our work days, in the school, or whatever, it means that we can easily go after the things that we want. Because if we know, if we have made the connection that well, if I push myself here, I know the reward, the feeling on the other side of that wall is totally worth pushing through that approach anxiety, that fear of fear. And it's easy to talk about this. But what I've been noticing, since this is the 7th week of actually doing this, is that it actually works on a deep level. And by that I mean I have started to do these things subconsciously in my workplace. That the lag between realizing that, hey, here's the thing that I should do, that the ideal version of me should do this thing, but it's something that will create some turmoil. It will make me feel uncomfortable. But the lag time, or the actual action of doing this thing that is uncomfortable, has increased. I so much easier do these things. Not only do I sometimes not even consider the fact that this is something hard, I just do it straight away. But many times I have this internal discussion with myself where I like, well, this is a hard thing, I don't want to do it, but if I do it, that's when the growth comes, that's when I really get what I want. It's just a must if I want to be the person, become the person I know I can be. So it may seem like, or maybe it's obvious to you too, but when you do this repetitively, when you do it week after week, the result will come on a level that is useful for you in your everyday life. Not only when you put up weird requests and go after them throughout or sometimes during the day where you plan out, I'm gonna go approach these girls, I'm gonna go ask for some free ticket at the cinema, I don't know what, but these actions, they really pay off in the everyday life, the small things. Taking that conversation with your boss, saying what you really think at the fika table, just flirting with girls spontaneously. I'm telling you, the reward is amazing. That is one part of why we're doing this. Then we're also building our self-esteem, as this is more and more the entire focus of this YouTube channel of mine. To build ourselves up, to have this core fundamental self-esteem that is just a rigid part of ourselves. It is us. Having a solid self-esteem, for me, I've realized it's like the most important thing we can have in life. And we are building our self-esteem when we are doing these rejection therapies if we follow the rules. That is, not lying in any way or shape or form. When we're approaching a person, we're just speaking the truth. And that is so important for building self-esteem. Because if your self-esteem is basically the reputation you acquire with yourself, your internal picture of who you are. And if you tell yourself, if you are acting in a way that a lying person would act, then you are a liar. Then you have that self-image of yourself, and a lying person can never have a great self-esteem in the entire spectrum. It's just not something that aligns with that, because the moral code is not to lie. We know intuitively that that's something that one shouldn't do. Unless you have a truly twisted moral code that says that lying is okay, then you can build your self-esteem. But generally, if you're not a psychopath or anything like that, you can't build self-esteem if you're a liar. So that's why we're not lying in any shape or form during these challenges. And also, by going after the things that we truly want, we are building self-esteem. We are telling ourselves, yeah, I'm the kind of person that live my true core self. I'm doing the things that aligns with my goals, values, and beliefs. I'm going after what I want. And that, my friend, is self-esteem building like heck. You're not designing your life for other people. You are making things happen that is totally in alignment with what you want in life. And that is what we're doing here with the Rejection Therapy Challenges, because again, we are designing these questions or requests so they should align with what we want to accomplish. And that moves us forward to my week, what I've been doing, because I actually focus a whole lot on talking to girls that I find attractive, because that's an area I want to develop in my life. So a lot of the Rejection Therapy Challenges are aimed in that direction. For instance, I have been approaching girls asking for their phone number as a line in developing my ability to flirt with girls, because in the end, of course, I want to meet love of my life, but I also want to develop my social skills, and I want to be able to talk to anyone, anywhere. So it's so many parallel tracks here that just takes me towards my end goal, where I wanna. Now I just got disturbed by the rap liker. Hey, I was just watching your interview video. Nice. What did you think about it? And I will get back to that comment. I want to finish what I'm trying to say here. So I totally lost the thread. But yeah, we are building self-esteem with these challenges, and it's just an amazing tool to do that. And so some conclusions from this week's challenge I will just briefly go through right now. First off, besides the great reward of developing these skills, there's this tremendous sense of connection when you're doing these approaches, when you're talking to random people, how you are able to, like that, connect with people you've never met before, to have this weird request or question, and then be able to find common ground, to be able to laugh, to find that deep connection, because it actually is a deep connection when you experience these kinds of emotions together, because when you're talking to random people, it's a bit of excitement going there, both for yourself and for the person you're talking to. And memories, strong memories, are often created in these kinds of moments where something extraordinary is happening. So like over and over again, you're creating these great memories with these new people, and it's just awesome experiences. And especially this interview video, which the rap liker here just referred to, something truly clicked there. How I was able during this video, and if you don't know, I will tell you briefly. I set out to go talk to and actually interview a bunch of people and ask them about the meaning of life. And when you talk about that deep topic with random people, it quite easily goes down to a deep level. You have to touch these emotional points in order to extract anything of value out of a conversation like that. So the whole experience from that, truly memorable day that made me again realize the importance of connection. And I got a valuable lesson, not only from the whole rejection therapy, but the lessons from what they told me, how deep connection, friends and family actually are one of the most important things in life. And that is something that is quite intuitively, we all know that at some level. But when you actually experience it like that, and then are hearing it at the same time, it was a good lesson. And what I'm trying to aim at here, what I'm trying to say is that go out and do these not only for the sense of being desensitized to the fear of rejection and to build self-esteem, but to actually connect with people. I think we do that way too little in life. We are so condensed to just socialize with the person we know. At least here in Sweden, that's the norm. You don't talk to people you meet. But when you get used to doing this, you open up to people all over, all around you. You have a much lower barrier to open up and have random conversations with random people, and that is an insight, a new perspective on life that these challenges have given me, and it has given me a new perspective of life, and I just enjoy the crap out of it. That was one of my main conclusions from this week. Secondly, I realized the importance of body language. It's not so much about how and what you say when you approach someone. It is mainly about the way you put out yourself. If you have an open body language, if you are assertive, speak with clarity, and just have a good smile, a nice easiness to what you're saying, not being intimidating, or just coming off as a genuine, pleasant and nice person. That makes all the difference. Because when going through my videos, watching my recordings, I realize, at least in the sense of flirting with girls, my topics and what I actually discuss with these people are very lame and boring. I speak about the weather. Oh, it's so nice weather. I mean, who does that? Well, I do that. But on some level, I still are able to connect with these people. I'm still able to laugh with these people because I do it from a sense of just enjoying the situation. Having that laughter very close by and just creating this nice, easygoing experience for both of us. Because if I'm nervous, they will get nervous. If I'm anxious, they will get anxious. And if I are able to transmit a fun interaction here, that's what's going to be received and transmitted back. So that is so important. It really, really is. And that's something I focused in more on this week, and trying to think about my body language. But also, when you have this focus of body language, you start to take notice more and more of how they are reacting. What body language are they putting out? And that makes you read the situation, but not only are you able to reflect upon how they are interpreting the situation, also you're shining some of the light from the nervousness of the situation back on them. You're not so self-focused when you're actually putting some attention into interpreting how they are reacting, because it's of course a bit of nervousness from their side as well, depending on who you're talking to, but they are in a new situation as well. They are thinking about how they're talking to this stranger who's asking this weird thing. So it's not only you who are experiencing this weird moment, it's also on their part. And that's a quite good realization. And that also will also bring me to one of the other conclusions that I've had this week, that I have to accept that I'm gonna come off as a creepy guy to some people. I actually got a comment on one of my videos saying that this video would be good. This video would be good for your future employer to see. And I actually still don't know if this guy commenting was sarcastic or not, because in the video he was commenting about, I was saying I'm a creepy guy at some point, but I was referring to what I just said about some people will think I'm creepy because everybody has different opinions about people. We can't be liked by everyone. And so that means some people are gonna find me creepy. And when I can accept that I will come off as creepy to some people, no matter how I am and act, just by being the person I really want to be, some person will find that creepy. Maybe some person hates my fingers. They think they're tiny and narrow and, I don't know, disgusting in some way. I can't affect that. And so, but just by realizing that, I reached another state of calmness. I realized that, yeah, so what? I can't be liked by everyone. I'm just gonna do this because of my own wanting to grow my self-esteem, to be used to rejection, to be able to go after whatever I want in life. And I think that was my main conclusion. The last conclusion. Let me just check my notes. I do have some notes. Yeah, it was my last conclusion. However, I'm gonna put one extra bonus thing out there for you. Time is not an excuse. Throughout the week, I have very long work days because I actually work in my Fridays. I work my 40 hours plus Monday to Thursday, so I can have the day off on my Friday. And so that means late nights, and you're not in the mood for, well, you're not too energized when you're off work at maybe 8 o'clock, and you're like, oh, I don't have the energy to do this. But doing these challenges, it only takes like 5 minutes, sometimes not even that. So excusing yourself for not doing these kinds of things because I don't have the energy or I don't have the time, that's just lame. It's not true. You're lying to yourself. You have to be honest to yourself. Accept the thoughts you're having and then act on them. Because if you're lying to yourself, you're decreasing your self-esteem as well. At least be honest with yourself. But time is not an excuse. Never blame that as a reason for not doing this. I did that, but I proved myself wrong. Like, no, I'm actually gonna do this because I've recorded a whole lot of rejection therapy challenges throughout the weekend actually. So I haven't been able to post all of them because I have had more than I've been able to put out. But I did that as a backup because I don't have time to do it throughout the week. But then I just know I'm gonna do this because I do have time. I have to prove a point here. I can't say something and don't live by my words. So again, time is not an excuse. And if you really want to do this, you can do this. And I think you should do this. Bam! What a finishing point. Have to work on my closing argument there. Anyways, I'm also gonna just mention the perfect avocado moment of the week. And I have to say that was I think it actually was the last interview I did with the girl. The interviews when I was asking people for what the point of life is. And the last approach I did there, I tried to talk to 2 girls, and they didn't want to participate because they were very nervous and such, but it really got me practicing how to speak to people, how to connect, and not settling with what they're saying. If they're saying no, way back in the beginning I would just okay and then walk away from that situation. But now I reached a state where I dare to continue and ask why and dig around a little bit and maybe topic threading a little bit, talk about something else to change the topic and maybe ease the mood. And so that conversation with her, I just felt that I deeply connected with her, and it was a very nice talk. That was, I believe, the perfect avocado moment of the week. The worst moment, I must say, doesn't relate specifically to this challenge, but I actually lost my GoPro camera, and that just felt like shit. It was in the context of recording my vlog here, so I was actually doing a time lapse, so I put it up on the train, but I fell asleep kind of, and I woke up just before I had to rush off the train, so I didn't have time, or I didn't think about the camera, so I just walked away from it. And that hurt like heck. However, I have been able to turn that situation into something good. If you haven't watched the video, I talk about how I use these situations of financial loss, or if I lose something, I make sure to make that loss worth it, down to every penny. More, I'm overpaying myself. I put up like a debt to myself. I write out a receipt where I state the value of what I've lost. If I lost money on stocks, or in this case, I lost my camera, so I state out the value of my GoPro. And then I write down a bunch of things, and I continuously update this list. I write down a bunch of things where I do actions which I never would have done if this wouldn't have happened. This gives me an energy, a drive to actually go through to do these things, so I make sure that this is worth it. For instance, I had a jog home the same day that this happened. I told myself, okay, now I'm gonna make this jog home, and I'm gonna run like I've never run before. I'm gonna push myself until I'm on the verge of puking, and I'm gonna make this run worth 10 crowns. That's the currency here in Sweden. So then I do that action, and I make sure to really do it full-heartedly, and then I can cross that off, and I can write off the debt to myself with 10 crowns. And so I continue to do this, and every day I write a list and put up things, and it can just be very small things. Like last night I was editing very late, and that kind of tends to bring me down when I'm like, oh, one more hour, and maybe we've been editing for 5 hours and it's like 2 o'clock in the night. But then I just, if you are able to turn this mind situation around, if you're able to extract some good things here and just bring your mood up, this is worth 2 crowns to you. And yesterday evening I did that, and just like, whoa, this is a totally new experience. I was just, this is fun, I can see this, and just an active mind game. That was just another example of small things I do to repay the debt to myself. And this is a strategy I've been using previously for some years now, when if I lost my wallet or something like that. And it is tremendously powerful if you actually feel bad about what you've lost, because then it makes it worth it. I'm more and more coming to the conclusion that I'm actually glad that I lost the camera, because throughout the week, as a result of this, I've had some great experiences, and I've pushed myself to new limits, and it's a new energy and fire within me. Another goal I've set up as a result of this, a big debt to myself to repay the GoPro, is that I'm going to reach 1,000 subscribers within 3 months. And that means that I'm really going to have to think about how I'm doing, what I'm doing, how can I improve, how can I speak with more clarity, how can I have better body language, how can I make better thumb, everything that entails creating good content, that is entailed in this little debt to myself. And that's a big thing, but the energy and drive I got as a result of that is tremendous. And it all is thanks to me losing my GoPro camera. And I will be glad that I lost it. I'm still not quite there yet. Still, the sense of feeling hurt and sad about it, that's what gives you that drive. So that's why you can't drag it out for too long. But I have a 3-month payment plan. So 1/3 of the value of it I pay off throughout 3 months. And just had to share that strategy with you guys as well, because it's super powerful, and it can make great things happen. Boy, am I satisfied with this little evaluation. Feel that I've emptied out the most important stuff. And that means that this little chapter, this weekly challenge number 61 is over. However, this live streaming here is not over, because as always I'm going to continue on with doing the weekly review, where I go through my own stuff, how I've been progressing towards my goal. I reground myself to just get some clarity on where I am, if I need to tweak, are my goals still relevant, am I actually doing the habits I've set out that aligns with these goals. And I do this every week. It's a live stream. It's a quite mute live stream because it's about me working on my things, but the idea is I want to inspire you to do the same thing, and it really makes me sit down and do it, and it's a tremendously important point every week. But I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna stop this live stream so I can start a new one, because it's totally different topics. But I urge you to, or if you want to join that, if you want to look through your week, please join that session. If not, thank you for watching this video. I have loved to have had you here. Again, I need to work on my closing words. And thank you so much for giving me those warm words. Appreciate some good feedback, we all do. So again, thank you for watching. See you in the live stream perhaps. Otherwise, have a lovely weekend. Bye guys.